Hey, pal, that's my headshot up there next to the pepper steak, and don't you forget it.
You're all talk, Hamill. You never even finished Jedi school.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrity reactions to Simpsons parodies.
Pi is exactly 3!
Very sorry that it had to come to that.
For this list, we'll be looking at instances where a few well-known celebrities saw themselves, their work, or their culture being spoofed by the iconic animated family, and how they handled it negatively or positively. What was your favorite Simpson-ized celebrity spoof? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Mike Tyson. Anyone who's brushed up on their celebrity parodies will recognize Dredrick Tatum as a direct parody of legendary real-world former boxing champion Mike Tyson. From his former career to his high-pitched lisp, all the way down to his criminal record.
Society put Dredrick Tatum away for his brutal crime, but he's paid his debt, and now he's going to get revenge on Homer Simpson.
But how did the baddest man on the planet react to this spoof? Pretty well, actually. Tyson knows that as a well-known icon, there are bound to be parodies of him in the media, so he doesn't take it personally and seemed to enjoy watching Dredrick mimic him while punching Homer's lights out.
And there's Tatum showboating for the crowd.
It's nice to know that Tyson is accepting of his imitators, though it would have been nicer to hear him voice Dredrick at least once.
Litter is my most treacherous foe. I would like to eat his children.
Number 9. Doug McClure. How could anyone forget Troy McClure?
Hello, everybody. I'm Troy McClure, star of such films as P is for Psycho and The President's Neck is Missing.
His entertaining personality, coupled with the late Phil Hartman's voice acting, made him one of the most recognized recurring characters in the franchise. One of Troy's biggest inspirations was the late B-movie actor Doug McClure, best known for playing Trampas on The Virginian for those who don't know.
That sounds familiar. No, I mean it.
Being a Simpsons fan himself, Doug thought the homage was hilarious, and even caught his children calling him Troy behind his back. With how iconic the characters become, we'd say that's one of the highest compliments possible, and it makes it even more tragic that we may never see Troy on the show ever again.
Wow, Mr. McClure, I was a grade A moron to ever question eating meat.
Yes, you were, Jimmy. Yes, you were.
You're hurting me.
Number 8. Frank Severo. Sadly, not every celebrity appreciates The Simpsons homages. Some of them take the ripoffs very personally.
We tried to stop the kid, but he wouldn't quit. It was like he went crazy.
For example, in 2014, actor Frank Severo sued the show for $250 million over the character Louie, the right-hand mafioso to Fat Tony. Severo believed that Louie was a shameless ripoff of Frankie Carbone, his character from Goodfellas. Admittedly, Louie does bear a striking resemblance to Severo's character, but with a voice matching Joe Pesci's character, showing that Louie is a parody of more than one mobster.
Hey, it's Krusty, all right. Should I shoot him gang lion style or execution style?
Listen to your heart.
Ultimately, the case was dismissed, and Louie is still with us to this day. But this situation perfectly highlights the risks of making caricatures too close to home. Number 7. Ken Burns. Filmmaker Ken Burns has been universally praised for his unique, recognizable style of documentary film. Of course, his notoriety makes him perfect parody material for The Simpsons, so that's exactly what they did. In the episode Pray Anything, Homer comes across a documentary mimicking Ken Burns' style about Ken Burns.
Ken Burns, a documentary by Ken Burns about the life of Ken Burns.
Ew, where's the remote?
The Simpson-ized filmmaker rambles about how he can't afford a different haircut and how he's never been to an actual baseball game before Homer changes the channel.
I've never actually been to a baseball game. The fresh air gives me hives.
Die, monster!
You're watching Monkey Olympics on Fox.
While Homer didn't appreciate the documentary, Ken Burns loved the parody tribute to his work, so much so that he guest starred in the episode as himself, showing just what a good sport he is.
That's a high honor, I would believe. It's a huge high honor.
Number 6. Jerry Lewis. If it wasn't already obvious, Professor Frink is a full-on parody of the late comedic legend Jerry Lewis. More accurately, his character in The Nutty Professor.
I must take objection there, Doctor. Revenge might have been the motivating force, but I feel now that curiosity has taken over where revenge began.
Frink's actor, Hank Azaria, begged the writers to cast the real Jerry Lewis as his character's father in Treehouse of Horror 14.
Oh, Papa, you're back! Now we had to replace several vital organs with machinery, but that doesn't make you any less of a man.
The staff was understandably nervous about the arrangement. However, it all worked out in the end. Not only was Lewis happy to guest star in the show, but he worked well with Azaria and was flattered by his near dead-on impression.
What a great crowd! You all have such big hearts and such big brains with large, juicy, dripping with knowledge heads.
Given his reputation as someone difficult to work with, it's comforting that he could handle a parody of his work so gracefully. Number 5. Barbara Bush. Believe it or not, The Simpsons had even clashed with former US President George H.W. Bush and First Lady Barbara.
What brings you to Springfield?
Well, George and I just wanted to be private citizens again. Go where nobody cared about politics. So we found the town with the lowest voter turnout in America.
It wasn't anything malicious, but it all started when Barbara publicly stated that the show was, quote, the dumbest thing she'd ever seen. It then turned into a funny back and forth between both parties that ultimately resulted in the season 7 episode, Two Bad Neighbors, where the Bushes become the Simpsons' new neighbors and Homer and George butt heads.
All right, mister. You want trouble, you're gonna get trouble.
Oh, I want trouble, all right.
Then you're gonna get trouble.
No, you're gonna get trouble.
Oh, that's good. That's good, because I want trouble.
Then we're agreed there'll be trouble.
Oh, yeah, lots of trouble.
Anything George had to say about the episode was not made public, but one of the show's writers said in an interview that Barbara didn't appreciate the parody, even though she started all this by insulting the series.
It's a shame it didn't work out, Marge, but George just felt this neighborhood brought out the worst in him and...
Gotta love irony. Number 4. Ryan Johnson. In the episode Bart's in Jail, Homer has a nightmare about hearing his father's will, only to learn that he gets nothing.
I leave you $10,000 that I never told you about.
Yeah?
But then I lost it all to a scam. So because I'm a moron, I leave you nothing.
Definitely spooky, but take a closer look at Homer's dream. The entire scenery is modeled after the 2019 mystery film Knives Out, complete with the cast wearing outfits straight out of the movie.
I hereby direct that all my assets, both liquid and otherwise, I leave in their entirety to Marta Cabrera.
When the original film's director, Ryan Johnson, caught wind of this homage, how did he react? With an excited tweet simply saying, "Made it, Ma." The show is no stranger when it comes to movie parodies, and it's clear that Johnson recognizes the honor of having his creation be referenced by a cartoon legend. If only more celebrities recognized this honor.
$10,000!
That dream again.
Number 3. Hari Kondabolu. For decades, Apu Nahasapima Petalan was one of Springfield's most popular residents, especially with the ladies.
All right, we got him. Whew.
Holy moly!
Wow, look who's the ladies' man.
Unfortunately, not everyone was charmed by the Quickie Mart proprietor / volunteer fireman. Many fans accused Apu of being an unflattering caricature of Indian and South Asian culture. Arguably the biggest voice for this was Indian comedian Hari Kondabolu, who brought the controversy to light with his documentary, The Problem with Apu.
But there's still one man who haunts me, Apu Nahasapima Petalan.
Additionally, Indian-American actor Kal Penn outright hated Apu and claimed he couldn't watch The Simpsons because of him.
I hate Apu. And because of that, I dislike The Simpsons. The whole series. Yeah.
Whether or not you agreed with Hari's critiques, the show's response was even worse for everyone, acting dismissive towards the documentary before retiring Apu's major supporting role, leaving the store owner's future in limbo.
Something that started decades ago and was applauded and inoffensive is now politically incorrect. What can you do?
Some things will be dealt with at a later date.
If at all.
Number 2. Seth MacFarlane. One of the most famous cartoon rivalries is The Simpsons versus Seth MacFarlane's Family Guy. From what it looks like, Simpsons started the fire by making cracks about Family Guy's quality and how it seemingly ripped off their show. what they didn't expect was how hard Seth would fight back. And boy, did he fight back. From cheeky jabs at his rival losing its comedic touch, to arguably one of Family Guy's darkest cutaway gags featuring Marge and Quagmire.
See, that wasn't so bad, was it?
Oh, I gotta say, that was fantastic.
What do you say we go back to your place for round 2?
Sounds good to me.
Thankfully, the conflict between both animation giants is all in good fun, and it all comes to a head in the Simpsons Guy crossover episode, where Peter and Homer settle the score once and for all, chicken fight style. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Morrissey. Lisa has fallen head over heels for vegan British singer Quillaby, to the point where she makes friends with an imaginary version of him.
You're not the real Quillaby. You're imaginary. I've gone crazy.
Unfortunately, when Lisa meets the real Quillaby, he's abandoned his veganism and turned into a very vocal, hateful bigot.
Can't you see this show is just a cash grab? I'm only here because I lost my fortune suing people for saying things about me that were completely true.
The punchline is that he's a shameless caricature of real-world English musician Morrissey, who did not appreciate the parody at all. He made multiple posts online expressing his hatred for the episode, and even said he ought to sue the show. To be fair though, Morrissey's hands are far from clean, so it makes you wonder, did The Simpsons go too far with this parody, or does Morrissey need to take a better look in the mirror?
Is this what I turned into? I'm greedy, I'm hateful, and my face looks like a syphilitic moon.
Well, it's not your fault you got old. Sting is old.
Old Sting's bloody gorgeous, and he knows it.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.